हेलो हेलो हेलो। Hello student, let's continue with our unit number 3, okay, which we are discuss from the last lecture. From the previous lecture we have started the discussion regarding the language translator and what are the different types of the language translator, that all the points with example last time we have discussed. Also in the last lecture we have started with the phases of compiler, and we have started the discussion on the first phase of compiler, that is the lexical analyzer. Now today also we'll continue with the same, and we'll see the more details in case of the first phase of compiler, that is our lexical analyzer. So today our main focus will be on the what is the role of regular expression and the finite automata in the first phase of compiler, that is the lexical analyzer. Okay, so in the previous lecture only we have seen what exactly mean by the phases of compiler. So in the different way I have told you what do we mean by the phases. So phases can be the different sub stages or the stages while processing your source program, or it can be considered as a sub process while processing your whole source program by the compiler. And it can be also described, phases is nothing but the logically interrelated operation that transform your source program from one representation into the another representation. So these are the different ways of describing the phases. So in the simple way, you can keep in mind the phases is nothing but the different stages in the processings of your source program from original source program into the machine program. So whatever be the different stages in between the converting your source program into the machine program, the different stages being considered as a phases, or it can be also considered as a sub process also. So mainly there are the two phases while you convert your source program into the machine program with the help of the compiler, that is considered the compilation. Mainly two phases are there, that last time I told you, analysis phase and the synthesis phase. And in the as this block diagram also last time I explained you what exactly the compiler does. Compiler take your source program and convert your source program into the target program. So your source program is considered as a high level language program like C, C++, Java, Pascal, etc. And your target program is nothing but your machine language program. Okay. So your machine language program can be considered as your assembly language, or it can be in the form of the binary language. Okay. And as last time also we have discussed the scenario or the block diagram for the lexical analyzer. So this is your lexical analyzer as a first phase of compiler, which take the source program as an input. Okay, and it generate the tokens. As last time we have discussed, the role of the lexical analyzer is nothing but the generation of the tokens. Now lexical analyzer generate the tokens when the parser asks the lexical analyzer for the tokens. Then the lexical analyzer generate the tokens and send it to the parser. Parser is also called as a syntax analyzer. Last time also I told you role of the syntax analyzer is nothing but what? To check the syntax of your programming statements. So here also I have mentioned the lexical analyzer read the input source program, scan the character and produce the sequence of tokens that parser utilize in the utilize it in the syntax analysis phase, or that tokens are being utilized by the parser in the syntax analysis phase, and parser check whether that sequence of tokens which are forming the string or statements, whether it is syntactically correct or not. That is the role of our second phase, that in detail next time we'll see. Now this already we have discussed. Now this is the our main block diagram. Last time also I told you regarding the phases of compiler, where you can see each particular phase take the input in some one particular form and represent the input in another form. So in case of our first phase, lexical analyzer take the input in the form of the source program, and it generate the output. Lexical analyzer generate the output as a tokens. Output of the lexical analyzer is the tokens, and lexical analyzer give that tokens as a input to the next phase of compiler, that is the syntax analyzer. In detail, this part last time already we have studied. So this is the general scenario. The same point you can see here, the lexical analyzer, first phase, second phase parser, or it is also called as syntax analyzer also. So when the syntax analyzer ask for the tokens, request for the tokens, lexical analyzer read the source program and generate the tokens and send it to the parser. Okay, during this process, there might be the number of errors also come. So that error is also handled by each particular phase of the compiler. Okay, last time we have seen regarding the first phase of compiler, lexical errors get generated, and what are that lexical error, that last time already I told you. Now, in simple words, again, I have mentioned the main task of lexical analysis is to read the input character by character and produce the tokens. Okay. So what is meant by the tokens? That also last time we have seen. Tokens indicate the class or category of lexeme. Lexeme is what? Lexeme is nothing but the sequence of character that matches with some pattern, and pattern also I have told you with the example. Pattern is nothing but the some rules which is describing that particular set of string. Okay. Now lexical analyzer scan the entire source code of the program and it identify whether the things which is present in that source program, sequence of character which is present in that source program, whether they are forming the tokens or not. So another name for the lexical analyzer is a scanner. Okay, so scanner usually used to produce the tokens. So as a lexical analyzer usually used to produce the tokens only when it is requested by the parser. So this scenario last time already I told you. First, the parser request for the tokens to the lexical analyzer. Then the lexical analyzer scan the input and recognize the tokens from the source program. And then lexical analyzer send the token to the parser. Okay, this scenario in details last time we have discussed. Now in that role of lexical analyzer also we have discussed. So first main role of the lexical analyzer to identify the tokens, then remove the white spaces as the comments from the source program, find out the errors from your source program, and this is being done by reading your input characters from the source program. So these are all the functionalities performed by the lexical analyzer. So during the process of lexical analysis, different kind of errors can be get generated that I told you. So during the phase of lexical analysis, different kind of errors generated. In that, three errors you can see here. First is the spelling errors, then exceeding the length of the identifier, appearance of the illegal characters. So this with the example last time we have discussed. So what do you mean by the lexical errors? So lexical error is nothing but the sequence of character that does not match with the pattern of any token. If some sequence of character present in your source program, and if that sequence of character doesn't match with the pattern in the sense, if it doesn't match with some standard rules, okay, which is being already described while compiler is getting designed. If your set of characters present in your source program doesn't match with your standard rules, that is the pattern, then there is a no formation. There is a no formation of the tokens. Tokens are not get produced. Tokens are not get generated. And if the tokens are not get generated, it means there is a lexical errors. So there can be a different lexical error get encounter during the lexical analysis. These are the some common errors I have mentioned here. Okay. So in the example also you can see, suppose as I said, exceeding the length of the identifier. Okay, there is some standard limit on the length of the identifier. So when you are mentioning the identifier or variable in your source program, and if that identifier or variable exceed that standard limit of length, then there can be also considered as a lexical error. If while describing the variables in your source program, if you utilize some illegal characters, now while describing or declaring the variable in any higher level language, you cannot utilize the dollar sign. So this is considered as an illegal character. This is also the kind of lexical error. Now, while mentioning some keywords, if you write the spelling incorrectly, now printf, if you write the spelling of printf like this, okay, PIRNTF, then this is also considered as one of the lexical errors. Okay, So these are the different errors get find out when the lexical analyzer does the processing on your source program. Okay. Now, also three terms we have discussed last time, which is required in case of the lexical analysis, that are nothing but the lexeme, pattern, and the tokens. So with example last time already I told you, lexeme is nothing but the, suppose we have taken the example last time, like position equal to initial okay, position equal to initial uh, and plus 60 into something, that example we have taken. Now in this example, this position is considered as a, what is this position is considered as also one lexeme. This assignment character is also considered as one lexeme. Initial is also one lexeme. This you can refer the previous lecture for this example. And accordingly, these terms we have discussed, lexeme is nothing but the sequence of character that matching the pattern. So accordingly, your whole source program consists of the different kind of lexemes. Okay. Now, what is meant by the pattern? Pattern is nothing but the rule that describe that set or that describes some sequence of character. Now, pattern or rule for the variable or the identifier in case of our C language is nothing but what? Your variable or the identifier must be start with letter, and then afterwards it can be followed by the letter or digit. So this is nothing but the pattern or the rules for describing the variable or the identifier. Now, if in your source program, whatever sequence of character you have written, whatever string is present, if it is matching with the pattern, then you can say it is forming the token. So here tokens, what is meant by the token we have written? It is a set of string over the source of alphabet, which is nothing but class or category of lexeme. Now, what are the tokens in, what can be the tokens in your source program? Different kind of identifiers, numbers or the constant, different kind of operators, keyword. These different things can be in tokens, which is there in your source program. Okay. Now, main part that we have to focus today is nothing but what is the role of regular expression in the lexical analysis, and also what is the role of finite automata during the lexical analysis. Okay. Now, before we go to the what is the role of finite automata, first we understand what exactly is the regular expression is. Now, in the theory of computation also, you must have studied what is the concept of regular expression. So whatever the language we utilize, like C, C++, Java, these are the considered as the formal languages or the regular languages. Now, in order to describe these regular languages, which is also referred as a formal languages, we have to utilize some notation. Okay, and that notation is called as a regular expression. So here I have mentioned regular expression is notation which is used to represent the regular languages. Means what? The regular expression is something which is used to describe your regular languages. Now, what do you mean by the regular languages then? So here I have mentioned the regular language is nothing but the set of string which are made up of character from specified alphabets or from set of symbols. Now, if you see the how the particular general language form, so language is generally consist of the sequence of sentences, then sequence of sentences consist of the sequence of words. Words are consist of the sequence of alphabets or the symbols like this. Okay. So same is the regular language which consists of the set of string, and this set of string are formed with the help of the sequence of characters. And how this sequence of characters form? The sequence of characters form from the some specified alphabet or the symbols. Okay. So according to this, we can describe the regular expression as a sequence of symbols and characters or operators, etc., expressing string or pattern to be searched within a longer piece of text. Now, in case of our lexical analysis, we have seen when you we have to match we have to see whether the sequence of characters that you have written in your source program, that sequence of characters are according to the some patterns, or whether that sequence of characters are according to the some rules or not. Okay. Now in order to check that, we utilize the pattern or the rules. Now how these rules or the pattern can be described? Okay, how these rules or the pattern can be described? Now in order to describe these patterns and the rules, we have to utilize the regular expression. Okay, that in the next section we will see. Here you just keep in mind the what exactly mean by the regular expression. It is consist of what? Sequence of symbols and characters and operators which are expressing the string or the pattern. Means what? Regular expression used to describe the set of string, or it used to describe the sequence of characters. Okay, and you know the from the sequence of string there is a formation of regular language, and that is the reason here we have mentioned regular expression is used to describe or represent the regular languages, because regular language consists of what? Different kind of sequence of string characters are formed from the specified alphabet, symbols, etc., etc. Okay, now let's see in details what exactly meaning of all these things. Now if you see here, you can see what is the string and what is the languages. Now in that we can see strings are formed from the sequence of characters or the alphabets. Now what is the alphabet? Alphabet can be any finite set of symbols. Now what are the symbols? Symbols can be a letters, digit, punctuation marks, etc., etc. Okay, so set of this alphabet can be represented by this sign. Okay, now as a set, this sign indicates the set of some particular what you can say set of letters, set of digits, set of punctuation symbol like this. Okay, now here example I have mentioned 0, 1. It is the binary alphabets, sequence of or set of binary alphabet or set of digits. Now what is string? Here already I have mentioned it is a sequence of symbols over the alphabet. Now what is alphabet? That here I have mentioned. By combining this alphabet, whatever the thing which is being forming, that is called as a string. Okay, now the term sentence and words are being also referred as a string also. Okay, for the word, for the term sentence or for the term word, we can also utilize the term string. Okay, means when I will say the string, you have to take the meaning of it as a sentence or the word also. Okay, now empty string is you know the what is mean by the empty string is nothing but a string with the length 0, and this empty string is represented by this sign epsilon. Okay, now if you want to show the length of the string, for example length of the string s can be represented like this. And if I say we have the string banana as a string, and length of this string you can easily see here can be represented by the symbol this equal to 6. Okay, so here we are just discussing the as we have discussed what is the regular language. Regular language is sequence of string. Sequence of string is nothing but the sequence of characters. Characters are formed from the alphabet. So we are just discussing the meaning of each particular terms here. What is meant by the alphabet, string, etc., etc. Okay, now what do you mean by the language? As already we have discussed, it is nothing but the sequence of string formed from the different sequence of characters or the alphabet. So here language can be described like this: L is equal to sequence of alphabet from A to Z, or it can be, so this can be described in this way: L is equal to sequence of characters from A to Z, or it can be described like this: A, B, C, B, F, or combining of the characters like this. Okay, now what can be the different operation that usually perform on the regular expression? Okay, now whatever the things previously we have discussed that are being part of our regular expression, and why we are utilizing the regular expression to describe the regular languages. Now in particular lexical analysis, why we are utilizing the regular expression, that in the next slide we will see. Before that, we have to just see what are the different operations that get performed on the regular expression. So mainly first operation that get performed the regular expression is nothing but the union, which is nothing but what? Set of letters and the digit. For example, if A and B are the two sets, then as a part of the union operation, it can be described like this: A union B. Another operation get performed, the regular expression is what? Concatenation. Okay. So concatenation can be represented like this. If there are the set of string of length 2 or more, and if there are the two set A and B, then it can be represented as a part of the concatenation operation like this: AB. Okay. Then there is the exponential operation. Exponential operation, for example, here I have written A raised to 4. So which indicate what? A is the set of all 4 letter string. Which indicate what? A is what? A is a string which is set of 4 letters. Clean closure operation, which is being represented like this: A raised to star. Now what A star indicate? It is the set of all string, or it is a set of all string including all letters, including empty string also. A star indicate what? Set of all string of letters including empty string also. Okay, that is the meaning of A star. Then after the clean closure, we have the positive closure, which indicate A raised to plus is set of all string of 1 or more digits. Okay. Okay, in the when you see the example of operation, that time will get clear. Here just you have to keep in mind A plus indicate what? One or more letters or digit of that particular string. A star indicates what? 0 or more letters, and A plus 1 or more instances. In short, you can keep in mind A star is nothing but what? 0 or more instances of that particular string, and A plus 1 or more instances of that particular string. For example, here I have written the language like A in bracket A union B star. Now, what is the meaning of this language? So it is a set of all string of letters and digits. What? Set of all string of letters and digit beginning with the letter. It is what? Set of all string of letters and digit beginning with the letters. Okay. In the example, we'll see more details. For example, let us see here example related to the operation. Now let A equal to, now A is a one set, A equal to the A is equal to the terminal symbols A, B, C, and B is equal to the two digits 1, 2. Now if you apply the concatenation operation here like this, now we will get the set of concatenation of A and the B set like A1, A2, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So concatenation means what? We are combining the characters from these two sets. A or B, C. A union B means characters from this set like ABC and characters from this set 1, 2. So here in this set, we have the sequence of characters as a letters. Here we have the characters as a digits. Okay. Now related to this set, if I mention A raised to 3 exponential operation. Now what is the meaning of this? Now meaning of this what? All string with the length 3. All string with the length 3 using the ABC. All the string with the length 3 using the ABC means you can mention the string like this ABC or CBA or BAC. So what is its meaning? All the string which are forming with the help of these letters A, B, C with length up to the 3. That is the meaning of this exponential operation. Okay. So whatever the possible combination we can get from these 3 letters A, B, C. Okay, that is the meaning of this exponential. Now A star. Now we have the A set as a A, B, C. Now what is meaning of A star? A star meaning is what? All string which can be formed using letters A, B, C and the empty string. All the string which can be formed using the letters A, B, C and the empty string means what? There can be a 0 length string can be formed from this. Okay, that is called as the empty string. Then ABC string can be formed from this. Then BCA string can be formed from this. String only A can be formed, only string B can be formed, only string C can be formed, or combination of all these letters, whatever the string that can be formed, that is the meaning of A star. Means the string which can be formed using the letters A, B, C and the empty string. Means A star indicate what? The string with the zero length or string with the more than zero length. That is the meaning of A star. Similarly, A positive closure. Now, what is the meaning of these? Meaning of these same as a star, only here empty string is not included. Okay. In positive closure, empty string is not included. Okay. Now A raised to plus indicate the positive closure. What is its meaning now? Meaning of A star is what? All the string from length 0 to the more than 0 length string. A positive closure means what? All the string which can be formed from this set, all the string which can be formed from this set without the 0 length string. Means positive closure doesn't include the empty string. Okay. Then next you can see, now these are the different kind of operation which can be performed on the regular expression when the regular expression is used to describe the what we can say regular languages. Okay. Now here you can see we have described the regular expression as a notation used to represent the regular language, and regular language is what? Set of string which are made up of the characters from specified alphabet or the symbols. And from this we can describe the regular expression as a sequence of symbol, characters and the operators which are used to express the string, or you can call the string as a statement or the word also. Okay. Now then we have seen what is alphabet, string, language, different operation that can be performed on that, examples related with the operation with example we have seen. Now question comes here, why we need to utilize the regular expression? What is the need of regular? Now up till this we have seen the general discussion regarding what is the regular expression. Now we have to see what is the role of this regular expression in the lexical analysis, why we need to utilize the regular expression. So before that, let us see here the example, detailed example of regular expression. Okay. Now if I ask you what is the regular expression to describe the identifier or the variable? Now regular expression for the identifier or the variable can be described with the help of the regular definition. Now what do you mean of the regular definition? Regular definition is nothing but the some name given to the sequence of characters. That is the meaning of regular definition. Okay. So in order to express the, in order to write the regular expression for some languages, we have to take the help of the regular definition. Okay. Now what is the regular definition? It is name given to some sequence of character. For example, regular definition for letter is this: A or B or up to the Z, capital characters, or A or B or up to the Z, small characters. So this is the regular definition for letter. In the similar way, you can write the regular definition for digit like this. Digit are from the 0 to 9. Okay. So this is nothing but the two regular definition. First regular definition for letter, second regular definition for digit. Now here we have just given the name to this sequence of characters. Okay, that is the reason here I have said regular definition is nothing but what? It is simply the name given to the sequence of characters. Now by using these two regular expression, we can by using these two regular definition, we can write the regular expression for the identifier or for the variable. Identifier, now we will take the example of C language. Now in case of the C language, how you can describe the identifier or the variable? You can describe the identifier or the variable only with some rule. Now what is the rule? Rule is what? Your identifier or variable must start with the letter, and after the letter there can be a multiple number of letters or the digit. It means what? You cannot start your variable or the identifier with the digit. Okay, that is the standard rule. So with the help of, so how that standard rules can be described? Now, you know, in words, you know the rule. What is the rules? The variable or the identifier should start with the letters, and after the letters, it can be followed by the letter or digit. Now, how this thing can be described, can be represented? Okay, that is the question. Now, to describe these things, we have to take the help of regular expression. What we have to take the help? We have to take the help of the regular expression. So now the point that I just mentioned, that variable in case of the C is nothing but the letter followed by the letter and the digits. Now this thing can be expressed using the regular expression like this. Here, as I said, variable or the identifier is described like this: letter followed by the letter or digits. And you can see this bracket, to this bracket we have mentioned here the clean closure, that is the star. Now, what is the meaning of this particular whole regular expression? Now, from this whole regular expression, you can get the language. You can simplify this regular expression like this. Letter can be anything up to the A to Z. It can be a small character. It can be a capital. It can be a small case character. It can be a capital case. In case of while you are declaring the variable, you can use the small case or the capital case. So letter can be this. Okay. Then letter that can be followed by, for this letter, you can see this part. Then letter can be followed by the letter or digit. Now for this letter, you can check out this part. And digit, this part. Means what? First instance should be the letter. Okay, when we are declaring the variable, the first character should be what? Letter. And after the letter, there can be a multiple letters or other digits also. So that is the meaning of this clean closure. Letter followed by 0 or more number of letters or the digit. Means you can declare the variable like this: A, B, C. Now this variable is being written by following this rule. What is the rule? Letter can be followed by letter or digit. Means this first, what is the first letter? A. Now this A is followed by what? Another letter B. That is the reason here we have mentioned letter followed by the letter. And again, this B is followed by another letter, that is the C. Means what? First, when you are declaring the variable, first character should be the letter. After that letter, there can be a multiple letter or the digits. Means what? This part is optional. You can simply declare the variable like this A also, only with the single letter, or you can declare the variable like multiple letters also, A, B, C, D, or you can declare the variable like A, B, C, D, 1. So this rule, now we can see this variable declaration that you have done, it is according to this rule. How? See, letter followed by the letter A, B, C, D, these are all the letters. Letter followed by letter means first letter followed by the multiple number of letters B, C, D, and it is also followed by the digit. Okay, so this second part of this regular expression is optional. Understood? And that is the reason it is being mentioned with the clean closure. What? The variable or the identifier can be declared as what? It should start with the letter. Okay, and after that letter, there can be a 0 letters, or there can be a multiple letters, or there can be a more than 0 letters, or there can be a more than 0 digits. That is the meaning of this rule that you have described. Okay, now here you can see C language rules to declare the variable that you know in words. Now, to describe these rules with the help of some standard, to describe this rule using some standard way, there is a utilization of regular expression. Okay, and that is the reason here we have written the regular expression for identifier like this. Okay, so answer to the question why to use the regular expression, the answer to this question is what? Regular expression are used to describe the rules for what? Rules for the different tokens. What? Rules for the different tokens, because letter is what? It is a identifier is what? Identifier is the token. Now, to describe the token, what we are utilizing? We are utilizing the regular expression. So what is the need of the regular expression? in lexical analysis, the need of the regular expression in lexical analysis is what? To describe the tokens or to describe the pattern for tokens. Now, in order to understand this in better way, let me tell you. Now, when you compile some source program, okay, the first scenario, as a you have written some source program here, user written some source program. Now, in order to compile, when you compile the user compile this source program, okay, user gets some messages like errors or compilation successful, like this kind of things. Okay, so here you have utilized the language translator as a compiler. Okay, and you compile your program. Now, language translator as a compiler is one of the system program. Okay, now before you utilize this system program as a system software to compile your any higher level language program, these system softwares are developed, this system software are programmed by some system programmer. Okay, so this is the designing, just as example. So this is the designing of what? This is the designing of your language translator as a compiler. Okay, now what steps has to be followed while the designing of compiler is taking place? What I am telling you, what steps has to be followed when the designing of compiler has to be done? So there are the two important steps has to be followed while designing of the compiler. Okay, what we are talking about? We are talking about the designing of the compiler or developing the compiler software. We are talking about that. Now, what two steps has to be followed while designing of the compiler? For example, consider you are a system programmer and you are designing the compiler for your C language. Okay. Now, what two thing has to be followed? First thing is what? Representation of pattern for token by regular expression. This is the first thing that system programmer has to be note down, or that system programmer has to follow. What is the first thing? Describing or representation of pattern for token by regular expression. That is the first thing. And second thing, describing or representation of your regular expression by finite automata. Okay, so when the system programmer designing and developing your language translator as a compiler, he has to follow these two important steps. Now there is a third step also, that is nothing but simulation of finite automata. Now you don't worry about these things. Third step here, you just focus on the two steps. Okay, first step is what? Representation of pattern for the token by regular expression. And second thing is representation of regular expression by the finite automata. Okay, now that system programmer has to utilize, or he has to take the help of what? Regular expression while he is describing the token, or while he is describing pattern for the tokens. Means what? That system programmer has to utilize the regular expression to describe the token. Means what? Describe the token means what? How the particular programmer should write the identifier in their source program. Means what? There is a standard rule of writing the identifier or declaring the variable in source program. What is that rule? Your identifier or the variable should start with the letter. After the first letter, there can be a multiple letters or there can be a digit also. Okay. Can you start your identifier or the variable with the digit like 1, 2, 3, ABC? Can you write the variable like this? No. Means what? This is the standard rule that particular programmer who is writing the source program, he has to follow while he is writing, for example, C program. Now, when you compile these things get checked. And if you have declared the variable by starting with the starting with the digit 1, 2, 3, instantly you get the error here that this is not the proper declaration of variable. Now, how this error you will get here? This error you will get because the compiler check your program. What the compiler check? Compiler check your program against the standard rules of writing the variable. Now, what is the standard rule for writing the variable? Standard rule is what? Your variable should start with the letters, and after that there can be a 0 letters or the 0 digit after the first letter, or okay, or after the first letter there can be a more than one letter, or there can be a more than one digit. Now these rules, when these rules are being written, now these rules are being mentioned when the designing of the compiler is taking place. Okay, and who is describing these rules? These rules are described by the system programmer when the system programmer is designing your compiler for the C language. Okay, like these rules of describing the variables, the system programmer has to describe the rules for all the features of that particular C language. Means what? In the C language, how the particular C programmer should write the keywords, how the particular C programmer should write the function name, how the particular C programmer should declare the variables. Now regarding these, all the rules are mentioned when designing of the C compiler is taking place. And when you compile your C program, your all whatever the source program that you have written, that your source program is get checked against the rules which is being mentioned when the designing of compiler is taking place. And in this source program, if you don't write the different things, like if you don't write the variable by following the rules of writing the variables in C language, automatically you will get the errors. If you write in this source program keyword spelling incorrectly, instead of writing the spelling of printf like this, printf, if you write the spelling of printf like this, pir, you get the errors, because all the things related with the keywords, there are the 32 keywords in the C language. This all the keywords are being mentioned while the designing of compiler is taking place with the correct spelling. And if you write the incorrect spelling when you are writing the C source program, any C source program you are writing, for example, you are writing the C source program for addition of two numbers, and in that if you write the spelling of printf like printf, automatically you will get the error, because compiler check whether you have written the spelling of that keywords correctly or not. And compiler does what? Compiler just do the matching of what? The matching of things which is being already mentioned when the designing of compiler is taking place, when the designing of compiler is done. As while designing the compiler, the spelling of the printf keyword is mentioned like this, printf, and when the user, while writing the C source program, write the spelling of printf printf, automatically the error will get, because this thing and these things are not getting matched. Understood? So in order to express all the things, when the now two scenario I am telling you here, this is the user scenario when user writing the program and checking the program or compiling the program using the compiler, and this is the second thing. This is the second thing when the designing of compiler is taking place. Okay, this when who is developing and designing the compiler? System programmer. So when the language get developed, automatically that time the compiler related with that particular language also need to be designed and developed. So we are considering this as just an example of C compiler. Okay. Now in order to specify all the rules when the designing of compiler is taking place, rules like how you should write the variables, how you should write the keywords, how should write the name of the function. Now during the designing of compiler, these rules are already being mentioned, and when the user compile the program using the compiler, only the matching of these rules with the user C program is done. If the C programmer while writing the C program has follow all the rules, then the user will not get any errors. But if that user who is writing the C program not follow the rules which are being mentioned while the designing of C compiler is taking place, then automatically that user will get the errors. Now, point here is what? In order to mention these rules while the designing of compiler is taking place, in order to mention these rules, there is a need of utilization of some standard notation. And what is that standard notation? That standard notation is nothing but the regular expression. Okay. So as I said here, while designing of the compiler, two important steps has to be followed. First step is what? Representation of tokens or pattern for the token by regular expression. And second thing is what? Representation of regular expression by the finite automata. Okay, so that is the reason here we have the need of the regular expression for what? For writing the rules or for writing the pattern for the different tokens, or for representing or for specifying the tokens related with the particular language. We have to take the help of what? Regular expression. Okay, now let's see with the example. For example, now you can see here, now we have to write the regular expression for the identifier. Now identifier is what? Identifier is one of the token. Now you can see we have the different tokens related with the particular language, like tokens. Identifier is one token, then keywords are also the tokens, operators are the tokens, constants are the tokens, etc. Now here we are just taking the example of how to write the regular expression for the token identifier. Means what? How, as I said, when the system programmer is designing the compiler, he has to take the help of what? Regular expression to describe the different feature of that C language. Means he has to take the help of regular expression to describe the tokens. For example, consider here token as the identifier. Now how that system programmer will describe the token as the identifier with the help of the regular expression. Now in this way you can see here. So system programmer use the regular expression to describe the token, and how he can describe the token identifier like this: letter followed by the letter or digits, and it can be written like this. Okay, so this is the role of regular expression while designing of the compiler, and in that, while designing the first phase of compiler, that is the lexical analysis. Okay, so in this way we can use the regular expression to describe the tokens or pattern for the token. So this is nothing but the representation of, now first step I told you, representation of pattern for the token by regular expression. So this is the first step, representation of pattern for the token by regular expression. Now regular expression here is what? What is the definition of regular expression? We have seen it is nothing but what? Sequence of it is a set of string, characters or operators. So this is nothing but the sequence of string, characters and the operators to express the token. Now what token you have described or express here? Identifier. Okay, so you have to describe the tokens or pattern for the tokens. Pattern for the tokens in the sense rule for the token. Now what is the rule for the token identifier? Like this, it should be followed by the, it should be start with the letter, and then letter can be followed by the letter or digit. Now this is our first step. What is the first step? Representation of pattern for the token by regular expression, or representation of token by the regular expression. Now second step is what? Representation of regular expression by the finite automata. Second step is what? Representation of regular expression by finite automata. Now this is our regular expression. This is the first step, representation of token by the regular expression, first step. Second step, representation of this regular expression by finite automata. And finite automata, you can see here, representation of this regular expression by finite automata is like this, where you can see finite automata. Now before we see the second step, you have to understand what exactly mean by the finite automata and why we need to utilize the finite automata. Okay, first step, I hope you have got the first step. This first step you have understood, representation of pattern for the token by regular expression. Okay, while the designing of compiler is taking place, why we need the regular expression? To describe the tokens. Now second step is representation of regular expression by the finite automata. Now in order to understand this, first you need to understand what do we mean by the finite automata. Okay, let's see here what do you mean by the finite automata and what is the role of finite automata in the lexical analysis. Now another name for the finite automata is transition diagram also. Okay, in theory of computation you must have studied. Another name for the finite automata is what? Transition diagram also. Okay, now we already studied what is the language. Now we know the language is nothing but the collection of string is collection of characters, alphabets, etc., etc. And to describe this language, we use the regular expression, which is nothing but the sequence of characters, operation, different kind of operators, and the sequence of string, etc. So that is we are referring as a regular expression. Now language can be a finite language or language can be an infinite language. Now what do you mean by the finite language? What do you mean by the infinite language? Okay, now consider there is a string, set of string, and in that string there is the two characters a comma b. Okay, now by using this particular set of string, if I said language L1, generate the language L1, the language containing the length of the string as a 2, using this set of string, generate the language which is containing the length of the string as a 2. Now for this language we can then have the length of the string 2. We have the different combination like AA, AB, BA and the BB. So this can be the possible string we can have with the length of the string as a 2 as a language L1. Okay, and suppose there is a language L2 which is nothing but language containing at least one A. From this set of alphabets, we have the another language, what? Language containing the at least one A. Now, so possible combination for this can be a language containing at least one A, can be a simple this one A, there can be a AA, there can be a triple A, like this. So there can be a multiple combination we can have using this set of alphabets, because using this set of alphabets we can have the multiple combination of the language containing at least one A. So there can be an infinite number of combination we can have where there is a presence of at least one A. Now I am calling this as a finite language, but we cannot call this language as a finite language. Why? Because there can be a infinite number of combination we can have. What? We can have the infinite number of combination of language containing at least one A. That is the reason we are calling this language as an infinite language. But related with this language containing the length of string 2, only 4 combination we can have. Okay, you can check it out. None other than 4 combination we can have here. Only 4 combination we have, like AA, AB, BA, BB. So there is a finite combinations are there. That is the reason we are calling this language as a finite language. But here we are having infinite combination of language containing at least one A. Okay, because there can be a multiple combination where the string containing the at least one A. We can also have the string like this, A, B, 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 understood. Okay, this is also containing the single A. So there can be an infinite number of combination where language containing at least one A. That is the reason here I am calling this language as an infinite language and this language as a finite language. Okay. So here you must have clear the what is the meaning of finite language and what is the meaning of infinite language. Here we have taken the example as a set of alphabet A and B, and from that we are trying to form the language L1 and L2. Where if you try to form the language containing the length of the string 2, then we're getting the then we are getting the finite language. But from this set of alphabet, if you try to form the language containing at least one A, then we are getting the infinite language. Okay. Now next thing, next I want to ask, for example, I want to ask you the question. Now we want to check whether this string S, now S is equal to A, B, B, A. Now we want to check whether this string S equal to A, B, B, A is a part of the language or not. Now we have got the two language L1 and we have got the another language L2. Now what question I am asking, we have to check whether this string S is equal to A, B, B, A is a part of this language L1 or whether it is a part of this language L2 or not. Now if you try to check A, B, B, A, whether this string is part of this language L1 or not. Now we can easily see, is there any presence of A, B, B, A here? No. Now ABBA is the having length of 4, but L1 is only having the length of string 2. Means here we can easily give the answer that this particular string s is equal to ABBA is not part of the language L1. Okay. Now check whether this string s is equal to ABBA is part of this language L2 or not. Now, can you tell me the answer of this, whether this string ABBA is part of this language L2 or not? Now, related with this possible combination which we have written here, some limited, only the some limited combination we have written, there can be a multiple combination. For this reason, I have mentioned here the dot dot. Okay. Now, how you can check this s is equal to ABBA is part of this language L2 or not? Now, to give the answer to this question is very difficult because there is a infinite number of combination can be formed, but here only the finite combination are forming. That's why you can easily tell here the answer. No, s is equal to ABBA is not part of this language L1. But in case of this, it is very difficult to tell whether this string ABBA is a part of this language L2 or not. Now, how we can get the solution for this? To check whether this string ABBA is part of this language or not. Now, a solution we can have for this solution can be what? We have to generate all the possible combination of string with at least one A. Okay, what we have to do? We have to generate all the possible combination of string which is containing at least one A, and we have to store that string of that language in memory locations. We have to store that string in the memory. Okay, but and then after storing this possible combination in the memory, then it can be checked one by one. But in case of finite language, if you store this A, B, BB in the memory, and then we check this string against whatever thing we have stored in the memory, then you can easily check, and within a less time we can get the answer here. Answer that this string is not part of this language L1. But if you try to store this all possible combination of string in the memory in case of the infinite language, then it is not possible because memory is limited. And that is the reason in case of the infinite language, string cannot be stored inside the memory. What I am telling you, in case of the infinite language, all the possible combination of certain string with at least one A cannot be stored in the memory. Here I am just telling you the example. So then how we can get the solution then, as you cannot store these all the possible combination of infinite languages in the memory, how you will get the solution? How you can check whether this string is part of this language or not, whether this string s equal to ABBA is part of this language L2 or not. Now, to solve this problem, the one particular model is being mentioned in the computer science. Okay, to solve this problem, one particular model is mentioned in the computer science, and that model is called as what? The automata. That model is called as what? The automata. Okay, so automata is used to check whether the given string is a part of language or not. So here, simplified form of automata I have written, finite automata. Now there is a different types of the automata you must be knowing. So what is now, instead of storing all these things in the memory, now memory is limited, so we cannot store all the possible combination which can be generated related to the infinite language in the memory. It is not possible. So for that purpose, in the computer science, one model is being developed and designed, that is called as the automata. So automata does what? Automata will check whether particular string, automata will do what? Check whether particular string is part of certain language or not. If this particular string is part of this language, then answer will be written by the finite automata as a S. If this string is not part of this language, then finite automata will return the answer as a no. Okay. Now, when you get the answer as a S and when you get the answer as a no, if this string is part of this language, the finite automata will represent the answer as a S. If this string is not part of the language, finite automata will give you the answer as a no. So That is the reason the automata has to be utilized in the computer science to check whether the particular string is part of the certain language or not. Okay. Now, in case of the lexical analysis, how it is helping us, how the finite automata is helping us. Now, in case of the designing of the compiler, and in that first phase, designing the first phase of compiler, I told you we have to follow the two steps. First step is what? Representation of regular expression, representation of token. Now, in case of the any language, there can be a different tokens, like token can be identifier, keywords, operator, etc. Here we are just taking the example of token as an identifier. First step was what? Representation of token by the regular expression. This is our first step. So here we have utilized the regular expression. As you can see, the definition of regular expression already a number of times we have discussed. The definition of regular expression, as you can see here, sequence of symbols and characters or the operators that are expressing some string, or that are used to describe some string or pattern, or that are used to describe some string or pattern or token for the, or the pattern for the tokens. Okay, rule for the tokens. Or simply you can keep in mind regular expression as a sequence of symbol and characters or the operator to express the tokens. Okay. Now here you can see in this example, we have completed our first step. That is what? Representation of, first step we have completed, representation of pattern for the token, or representation or describing the token by using the regular expression. Here we have described. So this is, you can see easily, it is a sequence of characters, operators, or possible symbols. That is the regular expression. So regular expression is nothing but, as I would discuss, it is the combination of different kind of characters, symbols, letters, digits, and some operation on that. Now, what are the operation we apply here? We applied the clean closure operation here. Okay. So likewise, different operations are utilized when you are utilizing the regular expression to describe the tokens. Okay. As in the initial part, we have said the regular expression is to describe the language, regular language. Now, language consists of the different kind of strings. Language consists of different kind of sequence of characters, and you know the sequence of characters forming the tokens. So that is the reason here I am saying we are using the regular expression to describe the tokens. So first step we have utilized here to describe the token by the regular expression. Second step is what? Describing the regular expression by finite automata. That was our second step. Now here we have described this regular expression by the finite automata. Now you know in the finite automata we have the starting state. Then on each state we apply some input. Then we go to the next step until we reach to the final state. Okay. Now our regular expression is what? Letter followed by the letter or digit. Now for example, now how the finite automata play their role in the lexical analysis here. For example, this is our variable ABC. Now this variable ABC, whether it is a valid token or not, how it will be get checked with the help of the finite automata. So let's see how it will get checked. Now A is what? Letter. So on the 0 state, yes, it is satisfying, is a letter. After A there is what? B. B is also letter. So after on the first input, we go to the next state, that is the 1. Now after the A there is a B. Now B is a letter. Yes, B is a letter. Now after the B there is a C. Yes, C is also the letter. Okay. Now after the C, what is there? There is a semicolon. Now that semicolon is also called as a delimiter. So after the C there is a delimiter. Okay, this is being mentioned here, delimiter, and with this delimiter we reach to the final state. Okay, now you can see for this regular expression, this finite automata we are having, and in this finite automata we are reaching to the final state. And if for certain regular expression, if you try to represent that regular expression using the finite automata and you are reaching to the final state, it means that this is the valid token. It means what? This ABC is matching with the pattern. It means what? This ABC is matching with the pattern. Which pattern? This pattern of declaring the variable. And what is the rule or the pattern? For the variable, it should be start with the letter, and letter can be followed by the letter or digits. So this finite automata, you can easily see we are reaching to the final state for this variable ABC, which indicates our variable declare is correct. And when you try to compile this program, where in that program you have the statement like this, you will not get any error, you will not get any lexical error. But if you try to write that variable like this, A followed by the dollar followed by the B and the semicolon. Now regarding this, when it will be get checked by the compiler, and in that compiler first phase of compile, that is the lexical analyzer, you will get the error. Why? Because what is the rule of describing the token as identifier? Rule is what? It should be start with the letter. Yes, it is started with the letter. After the letter, there cannot be any letter or there cannot be any digit. But after the letter, if you want to write the more letter, you can write. But you can see in this case, after the A letter, there is a symbol dollar, which is not allowed. Now, so if you try to represent this thing, if you try to represent this A dollar, if you try to check this against the finite automata, which you have already generated for this regular expression. Now, what is the first character A? So A is a letter, yes, it is satisfying. Then you go to the next state, 1. After the A, what is their dollar? Now, what is this dollar? Is dollar is the letter? No. Is dollar is the digit? No. Then your finite automata will fail here. Means your input that you are trying to check using the compiler, and in that first phase of compiler, that is the lexical analyzer, will fail here, and compiler will give you the error. Compiler will give you the error. So in this way, you can see how the regular expression playing their role in the lexical analysis. So here regular expression playing their role, and here finite automata is playing their role. Okay, so that is the reason here we have mentioned, while designing of the compiler, 2 steps has to be followed. And while designing the first phase of compilers, 2 steps has to be followed. First step is what? Representation of pattern for the token by regular expression. And second step, representation of regular expression by the finite automata. So when the designing of compiler is taking place, all these things, all these rules are mentioned here. For the every token, regular expression are mentioned. For every regular expression, finite automata are being mentioned. And when the user write the program and user check the program, compile the program, if the user program is according to the rules which are being mentioned with the help of these steps while designing your compiler, if user mention all the things according to these rules, then he will not get any error. Okay, but if the user write the source program not following these rules, then definitely user get the errors. Okay, so in this way you can see how the role being played by the regular expression and how the role being played by the finite automata. Okay, so now in this way you can see role of regular expression and the finite automata in the lexical analysis. And again we can just recap what exactly the lexical analysis. So it is nothing but the scanning is nothing but the reading your source program character by character. Here I have mentioned it is the phase of compilation in which the source code is scanned, and source program is broken into the group of string, that each group of string is considered as what? Tokens. Okay, lexical analyzer will check whether this broken group of string that you have mentioned in your source program, whatever the content of your source program, whether that content of your source program is forming the token or not. That is checked by the lexical analyzer with the help of the regular expression and with the help of the finite automata that already being mentioned when the designing of the compile is taking place. So that is the reason here you can see the uh, lexical analysis is nothing but what it is doing the act of scanning, where here I have mentioned it is a phase of compilation in which the complete source code is scanned and source program is broken down into the group of string, where each group of string is nothing but the called as a tokens. Okay, and whether this group of string is forming the tokens or not, that is being checked by whom? Lexical analysis. Now in order to check whether this group of string are forming the tokens or not, the help of the regular expression and the finite automata is takes place, that already I told you. Now token is what? Sequence of character having the collective meaning, or it is also considered as a class or category of particular lexeme. What is the class or category of particular lexeme? It can be identifier, it can be a keyword, it can be a operator, etc. So simple example we have taken here. Total equal to count. You can see total equal to count plus rate. Okay, now regarding these, how the lexical analyzer will play their part. Okay, how the lexical analyzer will play their part. You can see now what is the statement is written. Statement is what? Total equal to count plus rate. Okay, total equal to count plus rate. Now, how the lexical analyzer will process this particular sentence or string, or you can see the you can call it as a string or the sentence, doesn't matter, expression. Now lexical analysis will broken down this statement into the different pieces, as I mentioned here. What the lexical analyzer do? It read the source program. Here I have just taken the one single expression or single statement of your source program. That is what total equal to count plus rate. Now what the lexical analyzer will do with this? Lexical analyzer will broken down this into the series of tokens. Lexical analyzer will do what? It will broken down this into the different set of pieces. Like total is a one piece, operator is a one piece, count is a one piece, operator is another, operator is a one piece, rate is a one piece. And lexical analyzer will try to check whether total is a correct identifier or not, whether this assignment, whether this operator is a correct operator or not, whether this count is the identifier or not, whether this rate is identifier or not. It is checked by whom? Lexical analyzer. And when the lexical analyzer will check, yes, total is the correct identifier, then it will declare the identifier token. It will declare this identifier total as a valid token. It will declare this identifier total as what? Valid token. Now, in order to check whether total is a valid identifier or not, you can see I told you there is a role of finite automata. So your this total, which is sequence of character, will check against the finite automata, as I told you. So if you come now, if you go to that example, now we have to check whether total is a valid identifier or not. Now total, what we have to check? Total is the valid identifier or not. Against, we have to check it using the finite automata. So T is what? First character, yes, it is coming under the letter, yes. O is a second, yes, it is also satisfying. T is the third, yes, it is also satisfying. A is the next, it is also satisfying. L is the next, it is also satisfying. So, and after this we are reaching to the final state. So it is our finite automata is taking us to the final state for this particular sequence of character TOTAL. It means what? It means that it is the valid identifier, and it means that if it is means the valid identifier, what is the class or category? What is, if it is means it is a valid identifier, it means it is the valid token. Because what is the class or category of identifier? Tokens. So for each and everything which is part of your program, lexical analyzer check. Okay, and lexical analyzer check it with the rules which we have described when the designing of compiler is taking place. And if this according to the rules, then it will be declared by the lexical analyzer as a valid tokens. But if you write the, if you in your program, instead of O, if you write here the dollar, now dollar is not the valid symbol. So here lexical analyzer will give you the error. Understood? That the way we have discussed it. Understood? So in this way, this kind of string can be scanned by the lexical analyzer, and it is broken down into the different pieces, and lexical analyzer will check whether each of these piece is forming the token or not. And how the lexical analyzer will check it? With the help of the finite automata, as I have told you. Similarly, such kind of another string we can take new value equal to the old value plus 12. Now for this expression, different tokens generated by the lexical analyzer, like new value is what? Identifier. Equal to is what? Assignment operator. Old value is what? Identifier. Plus is what? Is the operator. 12 is what? Number. So these are the different tokens: identifier, operators, identifier, operators, number. These are all the tokens. And who is generating these tokens? Lexical analyzer. Who is generating these tokens? Lexical analyzer. And you have to generate these tokens, lexical analyzer has to take the help of what? Lexical analyzer has to take the help of regular expression, and lexical analyzer also has to take the help of finite automata. Why they have to take the help of this? Because in order to express these while designing the compiler, in order to express the different tokens, we have to utilize the regular expression, and then this regular expression is converted into the finite automata. And when user write the program and check and compile the program, your program get checked against the things, against these things, against your finite automata. Okay, and if finite automata is satisfied, reaching to the final state, then you will not get any error. If it is not satisfying, then you will get the errors. Okay. So that's it from the role of what you can say, role of regular expression and the finite automata in the lexical analysis. Okay, so main role of the lexical analysis is nothing but the identification and generation of the tokens for the different things that you write in the source program. Okay, and how the lexical analyzer is doing it? Lexical analyzer is doing it with the help of the finite automata. So in the exam, you might get the question, explain the role of regular expression and the finite automata in the lexical analysis. So to identify the tokens or to generate the tokens, we have to utilize the regular expression and the finite automata. So only with the help of the regular expression and the finite automata, lexical analyzer can generate and recognize the tokens. Okay, so that's it from this lecture. You can go through the once again, and you can ask me the question if you have any doubt. Okay, you should not get confused here in one point. Now I told you the both the things here. I told you how the lexical analyzer phase is get designed while the designing of the compiler is taking place. Okay, and also I told you how your source program will get checked when you compile the program with the help of the compiler. Okay, so while the designing of the compiler, we have to make the utilization of regular expression and the finite automata. Okay, and in the similar way, when you compiling your program, your different things which you write in the program, that will get checked against the this regular expression and the finite automata. And accordingly, lexical analyzer will give the output as a tokens, or if the token will not get generated, definitely output you will get as a errors. If successful lexical analysis will happen, then you will get the output as a token, just like this I told you in the figure. Here, if the lexical analysis is successful, the token will be get generated. If not, then the error will be get generated. Okay, so go through this once again, and you can ask me the question in the comment section if you have any doubt. Okay, thank you all of you.